Hello, everybody. Welcome to the group stage draw for the Season 27 tournament. I am your host for today, Ink, and joining me for the group stage draw is Pierce. How are you doing, my friend?
All's well, brother. Another beautiful day, and I'm super excited. We had an excellent set of qualifiers leading up to the main Season 27 tournament bracket, and now we're going to find out who's facing who's doing what, and what we have to look forward to in the upcoming group stage. In the upcoming main bracket, which will decide the Season 27 champion upon its conclusion. So, we're going to hop straight into it. We're going to learn what the matchup's for. As you guys can see on the screen, we have it set up so that we're going to spin a wheel to determine who is going to go in which group. Right now, the way it works is that we're going to, at random, pick which of the first seeds you see on the screen, who's going to be sorted into Group A, then into Group B, C, and D. Actually, Ink, let me refer to you. Are we going to do we're going to do all the first seeds first, right? And so we're going to just sort out all the group's first seeds immediately instead of coming back to it,
Um,
right?
no, I actually think it builds a little bit more hype if we come back to it, if
Okay,
I'm
okay.
being honest. I
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
I don't actually remember how I did it last time. It's been quite a
I,
while.
I was trying to remember too. I think what you said is what you said last time too. Um, but at any rate, we'll figure that out in just a moment. But just so you guys know, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing the players at random based on their seed and sorting them into groups accordingly. So, you know what? Before we even get into that, let's talk a little bit about what players are available to be drawn. All right, so we have obviously four first seeds from each of the four qualifiers that we played out towards the tail end of last week and into the beginning of this week. For first seeds, we have Sir Scoops, the legendary Strength Power DX, the incredibly powerful Spork, and of course the one and only Praz. So these are your four first seeds for season 27, and they will be split among the different groups, looking to slay everybody seated behind them and eventually battle off to become the champion. But of course, there are other incredibly powerful players in the tournament, more than ready to cause an upset. So these players will be sorted all into different groups to potentially fight each other later in the bracket. Ink, tell me what we have for the second seeds.
Right. So the second seeds, of course, are the runners up, or runner ups of the qualifiers. Like you said, the first seeds were the people who won a qualifier. These are the people who came runner up. We got Blaziken, who I might be wrong, but I think in HTS this is the first time he's gotten to top 16. Very well
Wow,
known
very nice.
Elementals player. We got his, who I believe it is also making his debut for an HTS tournament. And of course, two names that we are well familiar with, JG Salem and Owa. Two big names there. So
Amazing players, the both of them.
yeah,
It's going to be fantastic time watching their matches. I really can't wait.
yep. So those are the four people who are runners up. They will also be like the just to clarify, these four cannot be in the same group. They will also be split amongst the groups, so they will not play each other. But the players they can play, on the other hand, besides the first seeds, potentially, well, there's the people who are seeded semifinalists. So these are, of course, 8 people because we had 2 semifinalists for each qualifier. Um, and we got, in the semifinalists group, we got Nev, who is reigning tournament champion, actually. He won the previous tournament. Machine, who also recently won a tournament as well. I believe it's season 25, so basically the two reigning tournament champions here back
Hmm.
between those two in a way. We got Serial, who many will know as Beldams, a very very strong HCS player ranked towards the top of the leaderboard. We got Increase, who also is a very strong HCS player, also like Beldams, around the top of the leaderboard. Um, Making their debut in the tournament, in for tournaments in general, and managing to get top 16 this time is Test Player. So maybe they'll be able to make some noise. We also
Okay.
got, yeah, we also got a couple of well-known figures in the community. Usman, who is quite the veteran, uh, as well as Coeval, who many of you know for his YouTube channel. And finally, we got Summon Pimps, a legend among the elemental scene. So those are our 8 people in the semifinalists. These people can actually be drawn into the same group as each other, although only one of like only between two of them. Only two of these are going to be in the same
Yes,
group.
of those
So
eight of those eight players, they'll be split into the four groups. So of course it'll be two in each. But I mean, with all the name and all the talent that you just laid out for us, Ink, we've got some absolutely incredible matches before us. I mean, just think, you couldn't take two of those names, put them against each other, and not have an absolute banger on your hands. I mean, we're looking forward to some extraordinary gameplay coming up, and I know that almost all of these matches are going to be streamed, and I'm going to try and be there for as many of them as we possibly can, or as I possibly can. I hope you guys join us as we go into that main tournament, and I'm really looking forward to these matches, especially because not only are these players so talented at the game, but in their own unique ways. I mean, they have all different strengths and weaknesses. They have, different characteristics of their gameplay. They're all doing their own research, working together with their friends and their teammates, and really, I look forward to seeing how the meta game is going to evolve, how it's evolved through the qualifiers, and how the players are going to iterate as we go into the main stage and as we learn each other, understand players that they have a history against, see familiar matchups that rivals will come to clash again. It's just going to be a banger. I really can't emphasize enough. how much I really love to watch these guys go at it once they hit the rift.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it as well. And I will say also, there have been some tournaments recently, in recent times, that a lot of the best players didn't actually participate. But this time, most of the best players are participating. So we
Yeah,
got a pretty stacked tournament, unlike some other previous seasons where it was a little bit easier to get into top 16 because a few of the biggest names, a few of the champions weren't playing. So
shout outs to my boy Cryo, who I did not see enter, and I was a little sad to see that. But
yeah,
outside of that,
he's
yeah,
been pretty inactive.
yeah.
There's like that. There's a few people. I think Gull is another big name
Yeah,
that's
Goal
inactive.
is another, yeah. But I'm really excited to see DX play. I didn't get to see too much DX, in the last couple of events. Um, if correct me if I'm wrong, and he played in 25, but not in 26. Is that correct?
Didn't play in 25. But the 25 was one where not that many people played, actually.
Right. Oh, okay. Maybe it was 24 even that he played in. I can't
I
remember, but
think
the point
24.
is,
I think 24 he did play. Yeah.
yeah. The point is, I haven't seen too much of him. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing a lot of his inspirational gameplay. Definitely looking forward to seeing, more of Spork. Personally, I'm a big Spork fan. We've got I'm also you mentioned there was a new player in here.
Yep.
What was his
Test
name?
player. Test
Test
player.
test player?
Yes, that's his
Yeah, that
in-game name.
who is that on the
On the
because
Discord, they go by if I apologize if I'm saying this wrong. Reese
Rise. Okay.
or Rise.
Yeah, whichever. I'm just gonna make a quick note for myself. Yeah, when you see a lineup this stacked, I mean, you've got Scoops in there, Nev, Machine, and I can just keep going on, right? Like I can just read the whole list of players again. Owa, my boy, Praz, Usman, like, and to see this caliber of player all across the bracket, and for a new player to be squeaking in like this on their first tournament, that's extraordinary. So I'm quite like, is this like secretly a returning player? Like I wonder because it's not that easy to crack into high level Arcanists. Arcanists very accessible floor. Anybody can hop in the game. It's extremely fun. When you're new, throwing spells back and forth, it's just a great time. But to go against these guys at a high level, you got to have some special sauce with you. So to see what a new player's doing, that's really exciting for me.
Queeble's got some information on him, which I was not aware of. They have been active in the HTS scene, solid generic player, and did play the OG game, but this
Okay,
is just the
okay.
first tournament they've entered, so I mean, there are a few of those out there, for sure. There are a few people like that out there who just they're solid around the rated scene, but they don't really enter tournaments. Searcom. But yeah, it's still a pretty significant breakthrough. I would agree, especially because I don't think they've been playing that long. Like at least compared to any of the other names on this list, I'm pretty sure they've been playing the least amount of time still.
Yeah, I mean
Out
that would
of
make sense
Arc
because
Two.
I don't recognize them. So
Yeah.
definitely, just because I don't recognize them does not mean that they don't have a lot to bring to the table. And I'm looking forward to their matches just as much of everyone else, maybe even more, because I really want to see what they've got. But anyways, Ink. I mean, we've talked about the players a little bit. We're really excited for these matches, but I want to know who's playing who. Let's
Yeah.
get the draw underway. We're live 21 minutes. We've yapped away for 10 minutes. Can we get a spin on this wheel?
Yeah. So again, going back to how do we want to do this to build the most hype? Do we want to put do we want to put we could actually we could actually
We'll
do
start from the bottom up, right? Why don't we start from the bottom up?
do you want to start from the bottom up? Do you want to do like three semifinalists first, and then second, and then first to round up the group?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we can do it that way.
The
Sounds good.
quarterfinalists, you mean? Yeah. And then the runner-ups, and then
Okay, sounds
yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
In that case, we will be spinning the wheel now. this. Okay, so this is going to be the first spin in Group A. Let's see what we got.
Here we go.
Let me put some sound on this. There we go.
All right. And the
Ooh.
wheel lands.
On test player. So
Test player! Stepping up to the plate, number 1.
yep, they will
Well,
be
he's locked
our
into
first
Group A.
spin. Yep, they will be locked into Group A. So, that funny we were just talking about them right before we spin. I think there's not. I'm not sure how much there is to add. I think we kind of covered more about test player than other players. So,
For sure. And of
um,
course, without any matchups determined yet, there's not really anything additional we can layer on, so we can hop into the next spin. But as the brackets start to flush out, we can start to anticipate what we're going to be seeing, and that's when it's going to get really fun.
yeah. So, on that note, that is our first spin. Now we're gonna have our second spin to join them in Group A. There's also a semifinalist. And it is going to be. Looks like it's gonna be. Cereal, yes. Also known as Beldums.
No, that's
They.
Beldum. Like Beldums, correct?
AMS.
AMS, okay.
Yeah,
Let me make sure.
Beldums.
I've been creating some notes, so let me update that. There we go.
Yeah, so this is a player who I and probably many other people within the competitive scene would consider a little bit underseeded, just
Okay.
because while they don't have like a lot of tournament experience and they haven't played in that many tournaments, they haven't gotten many tournament results, as
Mhm.
at least compared to many of the other people on this list.
Right, they
They
just don't have the
have
medals.
Yes, but they are one of the highest rated people on the leaderboard. I think they're like third on the high times
Okay.
leaderboard. They're 2.3k rating, so or 2.2. So they're pretty close to Archmage level.
That's
Meaning that
incredible.
yeah, they're gonna be forced to reckon with. Out of the semifinalists, probably one of the people. If you're a first or second seed, you don't you prefer not to have them in your group more so than other people, I would say, just based on strength. But yeah, we will see who joins them in the group as well. I believe they're also maybe the only player from the UK who qualified. If
Listen,
I'm not
those
mistaken.
European players got some fight in them. I mean, shout outs to Bill and
Yeah,
anybody else who's slinging from across the ocean because they are not to be slept on even a little bit.
yeah, we used to have a lot more European players playing. There was a tournament we did, I believe season 15, where we actually drew people based on region to
Hmm.
make the group stage
Play out.
easy to play out. Yeah, and there were more EU people back then. Now there's a few less, but there's still a few people from the UK slinging around. So Beldums, of course, or Cereal, one of them. All right.
Okay.
So
Run it up, run it up.
next we'll be spinning for still Group A, but this is going to be out of the 4 people who came second in their group. So here we go. It's going to be his. Looks like. Yeah, it's going to be
Okay.
his. Uh,
His.
um,
Now,
I don't remember if his qualified for a HTS tournament yet. Actually, think maybe he did for Wasteland.
Yeah. Now, wait. Before we move on, we'll talk about his for just a little bit. But before we move on, do you want to flush out Group A, or do you just want to flush out all of the runner-ups? Because I mean, all the semifinalists. Because that way, then we can move into the more, the higher qualified players, and then flush out the groups. I guess you could say equally, so that the anticipation does not settle until the end. You know.
Okay, yeah, I think we can do it that way. If you feel
Yeah,
like it's gonna be better to build hype,
I think
we'll
so. I
do
think
group
so
winners at the
because
end.
right. Because otherwise, like Group D solves itself all as soon as we're finished
Of
with C,
course,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll do it that way. Also, well, yeah. So that's how we'll do it. We'll reveal who is the first seeded player from the quals for each group at the end, or pool one, I guess you could call it. Player for each groups at the end. But anyways, let's talk about his clarifying in chat now. Brand new to the Wasteland tournament before, I believe, if that's what they're
Okay, so
referencing.
Wastelands was their first event.
And yeah, and they have not qualified. So this is the first time they've qualified. I watched his play in the qualifiers. They've improved a lot. They've made a huge jump since the
I
last few
love a
times I've seen
rising
it.
star.
So they're definitely a rising star to look out for, I would say. Yeah, and I was pretty impressed with their play. They played very solid throughout the qualifiers, beat some pretty significant names. One of which was actually in the qualifier to get in to qualify. If I remember correctly, one of the people they beat was actually somebody who won a qualifier later in pros. So that should
Okay,
give
okay. A
you some
notable win over
strength.
pros is quite substantial.
Yeah, quite substantial. Not only that, but they qualified through qualifier number two, which most people would agree was the most stacked qualifier out of all of them in terms of not just size but like strength.
Right, because we did have the first qualifier, which had a lot of guns coming out, but a lot of the big guns really came out. I believe that was on a Saturday, so it was a weekend qualifier, meaning a
Yep.
lot more people would have been available to play. And I know that all the sharks pretty much came out of the water that day. Of course, DX did take that one. Congratulations to him. But even to play in that must have been quite filthy. I mean, it's a lot of rolling around in the mud. It's a lot of ducking and dodging and making sure you land your spells just right if you want to make it out of that bracket. So, we talked about how Beldems, who also came out of that group two, was able to who hasn't doesn't have the tournament accomplishments, but already virtually Archmage status. Obviously, DX himself came out there, so with his being in there and Increase also being that qualifier, you can just imagine the blood they had to spill to come out alive at the end of that battlefield. I mean, it was it's possibly something if I can find the time. It's if I can find the time. Is I'm probably going to see if I can review a lot of those matches later because I'm sure there was some absolutely excellent gameplay in there, and I'm sure it was a great time.
Yeah, so to recap how his got qualified in that qualifier, they had to face Devious round one, who
Hmm.
you might not be familiar with them, but they are a player who has played for a very long time. Although they're a specialty player, they play only one book. Um,
Okay.
then faced pros, and then faced Miley Hannah to qualify.
Oof.
So
Miley is no slouch either.
yeah, pretty rough bracket there, and they got through it. So yeah, they're definitely somebody to watch out for. I'm very excited to see how well they do in this coming group stage, and if they get into the playoffs, they're great too. In the main event, we'll say. I'm interested to see how they'll do in the main event.
100%. And already you could see, you know, it's very interesting because Group A has his, and they have test players. So two rising stars locked into Group A, two players without what I guess I'll call the same level of prestige as is flushed throughout the tournament. trying to earn that name for themselves, trying to put themselves on that board, trying to get their name recognized so that we can speak of them with the same grace and admiration as we're speaking about many of the other combatants. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of fight these guys have inside them, what kind of tenacity they're going to show us, and just how devious they can really get when their back is against the wall, against some of the strongest that Arcanist has to offer, and who can really, etch their name into the history of the game. It's going to be so amazing to watch that unfold, and I'm looking forward to seeing these two players battle each other if they manage to make it there to get that opportunity and show us what they really have to offer.
I believe it will be his and Serial in the first match.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
seeding.
exactly. Yeah, because they're both of the semifinalists of that round. So yes,
it's
first
2
match.
versus
Yeah,
3.
Group A,
2
first
versus
match.
3.
It'll be that.
Or
fact,
actually, wait. No, correction. It's actually random between.
His is the second seed. Yeah.
It's actually random between. Yeah, sorry, I was clarifying who his plays. His will play one of either Serial or Test Player. We don't know yet. If it is Serial, then this is actually a rematch from qualifier to semifinals where his won. So that'll be very interesting if that happens. But we'll see if it happens. That part of the bracket, like who plays which one of the semifinalists, the first seed and second seed play, that will be revealed after, like off screen. We won't be revealing it here.
Gotcha.
But anyways, we're gonna be moving on to Group B now. So this is another semifinalist spin.
Let's see who we roll. Now left in the pool should be Nev, Machine, Increase, Uzman, Coeval, and Summon Pimps.
It looks like the wheel has landed on the Val, Coeval. Yeah, we all know Coeval, the biggest Arcanist YouTuber, arguably. I mean, the most active one for sure.
And you know what? Not only just a YouTuber, right? One of the most knowledgeable players to ever touch the game, right? Constantly, I know that as I was coming into the scene, spread a wealth of knowledge to me, helped me to get a grasp of the game and how it was played in all its various formats. And not only this, but a very innovative player, despite the fact that he has so much experience in, I guess, what we'll call traditional or standard gameplay, metagames, and set play. Not afraid to pull tricks out of his sleeve, not afraid to constantly dive in and figure out, how he can tweak things to get edges on his opponents and push the game forward. He's definitely a mover and shaker in the scene in the sense that he's not willing to just be satisfied mastering what everybody already knows and becoming irrelevant, but always pushing that needle forward and making sure that the game is constantly fresh with new things to consider. So big shout outs to my boy Coeval, and really looking forward to seeing how he manages to fare in Group B.
Yeah, for sure. Coeval doesn't play in tournaments too often, so he doesn't really have that much of a repertoire within tournaments. However, I will say that he played very safe in the qualifiers, and while he did somewhat struggle compared to a few of the other players in here with, I believe he had a couple of draws over the course of the qualifiers, which not that many other people drawed in general. Well, it did get him the job done. So we'll see where he goes from here. But we will now see who will be joining him in Group B.
All right, run it up, run it up.
Oh, it's gonna be close.
That's the Uzman angle! Uzman 899.
Yes, Osman. Hi, Osman. Hope you're happy with that. Facing your fellow mod. More mod violence going on here. But yeah, Osman actually, a lot of people don't really know him for standard at all. However, back when I started playing years and years and years ago, he was the one who taught me. Actually, he was at that time actually pretty solid. He was taking games off some of the best players of that time period, like Nicaray. Of course, he's
Okay.
kind of known as the jokingly. We kind of joke around and call him the Nicaray Slayer, the rank 160 Gear. But he after that he took quite a break from playing standard. He did not play standard for years. However, he's back now. He's playing in this tournament, so we'll see how he does. I'm excited
I
to see him
expect
play.
big things from him. I have huge hopes and high expectations.
And Cruel mentioning, yeah, he must win honor for the admin team. Yes, of course. Usman, he got since back then he was just mod. Nowadays he's been promoted to admin, so moving up in the world, and maybe he'll take Pierce's
Battle for
spot.
supremacy.
Maybe he'll take Pierce's
He's gonna
spot.
he's gonna earn
Nah,
his
I'm
shoulder
joking. I'm
pins.
joking. But yeah. Uh,
He said after this
anyways,
tournament, y'all finna call me General Usman. Put some respect on his name.
next we'll be spinning for who the second place players will be joining. Of course, we have 3 more people, so let's see who it lands on here.
Here we go.
Looks like it's gonna be JG Salem.
Salem.
Man, what is this? All King group? All King Clan group?
That's it.
That's
Okay.
pretty funny. We're well aware of JG. He's been playing in tournaments for quite a while, and he's performed quite well. So yeah, another tournament for him where we'll get to see him perform. Great player, good at just about everything, jack of all trades. I'm
Yeah, I
a
mean,
little bit
JG Salem's an absolute beast. Uh, I'm pretty sure JG Salem is a gold medalist. Do you remember? Do you
no
recall or have off it? He's never
no
won a
he's
tournament.
never won a tournament. No.
Oh, okay, but he has some significant medals to his name. I'm sure.
Yeah, he has bronze, I think for sure. I mean, I can pull this
Okay,
up. I have the I do have a medals list on standby.
perfect. Actually, can you send it to me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Yes, of course we on the Arcanists wiki, which although it's been deprecated, I've been trying to keep up with it for tournament reasons.
I see. I see.
So I try and update that in the medals list because a few of the top players want to also keep up with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
there's a at the bottom of the tournaments page, which I'll link in chat. I'll link in the chat for those who would like to know. That is the tournaments page. At the bottom of the page, towards the bottom, there's an individual performances section which shows all the people who have ever gotten a medal and or a trophy roll rather, and how many they've
Right, for first,
gotten
second, or third.
for all of them that have been counted as for giving out the trophy roll. So yeah, JG's only gotten 1/3 place. I believe it was back in season 21. Yep, season 21. So he'll be looking to probably bolster that
Listen, JG's
coming
a
up.
monster. Okay, he's definitely gonna be able to put some more stripes and pins on his jacket. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's doing in this tournament. That guy is
Yeah.
very strong.
Anyways, I'm going to do C and D a little bit different because,
Okay,
again, the issue was if I spin for all of C now, we know who D is minus the first seed. So I'll be going one at a time for spins. I think I'll do one for C, one for D, and yeah, we'll go something like that. So it reveals a little bit less. It's not going to be affected. It's not going to be too much of a. Or sorry, rather, it's not going to negate it too much, but a little bit at least. So we'll spin for Group C next. This is going to be the semifinalist spin for Group C. And it's going to be Looks like
Machine.
Machine, yeah. Hailing from the land down under, and a monster in high times. Very, very technical player.
Highly mechanical guy.
Very high, very mechanical. Yeah, well, fits his name, Machine, right? So
Exactly. He plays like his namesake.
he really does. And
Now I mean, he was in qualifier A, if I recall correctly, because I believe we were watching some of his matches.
that's
And
correct. Yes.
yeah, and he was definitely putting the work in to produce some very, very impressive wins over his opponents. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some more of his gameplay. You know, I think that Machine's just one of those guys where he absolutely, truly could land anywhere and give anybody, is a threat to any of the other players in the tournament. Not
Yes.
somebody who can be slept on at all.
Yes, especially considering he actually won a tournament recently. He won the season 25 tournament, which it wasn't strictly a high times tournament. It was a different format from what we're used to. It was game 1 is high times, game 2 is low times, and then game 3 is elementals, but it's multi-controlled. So you control 2 players on the same team with 2 different elementals or whatever. And he won that tournament. So he is a tournament winner. Very recent one too. He's in form. We'll see if he can continue that form going into season 27. And
Definitely looking forward to seeing what Machine is going to bring. Now
for sure.
we're rolling the next Group C
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
semifinal,
mentioned
or are you
this.
going to roll D?
We're gonna go D actually. So this is gonna
Okay,
be for
that's
Group
good.
D.
That's good.
So this person is not gonna get machine. A
Very good.
little bit different. We only got 3 people left. So who's it gonna be? All right.
Increase.
Yep, it is increase. Now, increase I believe has I'm not actually I don't remember how well increase has done in tournaments in the past. He's a little bit of a wild card for sure. Let me check. I believe. Okay, no, I was not here. In season 25, he actually lost to Machine round 1. So a little bit unfortunate
Well,
there
that will
that
not
he
be
got
happening
paired.
this tournament.
Yeah, that will not be happening this tournament. Let me see. He is good at a lot of different settings as well. He's not bad low times player by any means. Looks like did not play season 25 like previous season's main event. Let me check if he played Wasteland because I know he's a high times player mainly. I feel like he has gotten into top 16, but maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, no, I don't think
No,
he's
I believe you're correct. I think I've definitely watched some Increase matches, and if you're telling me all the times I've ever seen Increase play was qualifiers only, that will shock me because I've seen Increase
okay.
play,
He
and
has
he's
gotten
always
in
impressed me.
he has gotten into season 21. He has not gotten
Yes.
into any other season that I can see here. But season 21 he got in. He was Group B against Cadus and Cryo,
Hmm.
and he did not make brackets. He eventually ended up losing to Furbo in Group B. So yeah, so he does have a good amount of HCS experience, and he is somebody who is also a rising star. I would say
Rising
I would
star.
agree with the chat there. Has improved massively since season 21, or rather since the last tournament he has played, has, I guess, qualified for. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well he does here, showing off all the ways he's improved. Also,
You're
very
looking for. Would
mechanical
you say you're
player.
looking forward to seeing how much his skill has increased?
Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.
All right, moving on to the next draw.
Right. So this is gonna be for Group C. Group C. All right. So 1 and 2 chance, Nev and Pimps. Let's see what we get. And it looks like it's gonna land on Pimps for Group C. So
Pimps in C, next to Machine, and then Nev in D, next to Increase. Now that's your chance right there to show how much of a rising star you are. If you
yeah,
can
getting
take
Nev in
down
your
a player
group.
as strong as Nev, yeah. I mean, that's our most recent tournament winner. Incredibly powerful player. Pimps also super duper strong. Machine versus Pimps. Potential is going to go crazy. That's going to be an extremely fun potential match to be watching. So looking forward to these kind of matches as well. What's the
Yeah,
lowdown on Summon Pimps?
they're a player that I mean, so they're mainly an elementals player for sure.
Mhm.
They're probably the best in the business in terms of elementals, or one of the best in the business at a minimum. They're still going for elementals archmage, and yeah, they're mostly an elementals expert, but they've been qualifying for low times and high times tournaments because even though they're not particularly like the absolute cream of the crop archmage level at standard settings, that if you're still the best at like a set like elementals even, it's gonna carry over. That type of skill is gonna carry over.
Of course,
They
that's
they
very
they are
translatable skills.
they are a very skilled player. They're very skilled, very good at hitting things like flashes, arcane bombs.
Yeah, we did
They've
get
pulled
to
up.
see a little bit of that because I believe that Summon Pimps was coming out of group. Uh,
They were
no, no,
qualifier
no.
four,
I think
yeah.
they did not qualify in Group A, but they played in Group A, and we were able to see some of the gameplay in Group A. Most notably, we covered the match, if I'm not mistaken, versus Miley. Um, and incredible match that it was. I believe that Pimps, if I recall correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Pimps did take that match over Miley, but ended up not qualifying in the long run.
Sounds
Um,
correct, yeah.
yeah, maybe having lost. If again, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe having lost to Blaziken shortly afterwards. Um, but they did come back, bounce back, and play on Monday to secure their qualification in the fourth qualifier, and now they're going to be here rounding out Group 3.
Yeah, they are around 2K rating in high time standard, so like JG's saying in chat, no slouch. Um,
Not at
Looking
all.
forward to seeing them. And I guess we should also talk about Nev. I mean, there's how much is there really to talk about Nev? He's a legend.
I
One of the
mean, Nev
most
is just
notable
quite
players in
extraordinary.
one of the
We've
most
said it
notable players in
already.
Arc One.
Yeah.
Won the previous low times tournament, even though he's not really a low times player. He's more of a high times player actually. So he's still in top form. Very good tournament performances. Sometimes came up short actually in tournaments quite a bit. He last tournament was actually the first tournament he won. He's gotten a
Yes.
lot of second and third places in the past. So
3 silver medals and 2 bronze prior to this. So definitely a player that absolutely must be respected.
absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing him keep his form up. He'll be in Group D with Increase, at least to start. But now we're gonna find out who's gonna be joining him. And we only got one spin for Group B because the first person will be the person who this will land on will be Group C, and then the other group will be other person will be Group D. So let's get the spin.
Yeah. Our second seeds, Oa and Blaziken. Looks like Group C is going to have Blaziken to contend with. And I believe we were just talking about how, if I'm not mistaken, it was Blaziken that put the drop on Pimps. So Pimps got a lot of hard work in front of him with Machine in the draw, Blaziken also there. I remember, as we were joined by Squid on the broadcast last Friday, Squid spoke very, very highly of this player, who I'm a little bit less familiar with, but in the gameplay that I was able to see on Friday, incredibly solid, very, very impressive player. You know, very mechanically accurate, strategically dominant, and super clean at developing and then snowballing a lead. So Blaziken did come second in that first group stage over Pimps on that day. Pimps had to go to a different qualifier in order to get into the bracket. And Blaziken is definitely somebody that I'm going to be watching out for as well since Squid put us onto that.
Yeah, Blaziken, fantastic player. Also a top elementals player, so I know him and Pimps are often either teammates or playing against each other.
Hmm.
Moving over to HTS and LTS now, sort of broadening his horizons. He did come, I think, third in the season 25 tournament, if I remember correctly. So he is on the rise. Looking forward to seeing how he comes up in HTS now. And yeah, for Group D, I mean, we already know it's Oa in Group D,
Oa.
joining Nevin Increase.
Now, I'm trying to remember. Have I seen Oa play an HTS event? Because I know Oa very, very well
He
for
has
yeah.
he's played season 21. He played season 23. I don't
Yes.
remember how he did in season 23. I don't remember how he did. I will double check that really quickly. We know how he did in season 21 though. Of course has a very particular style for those who I mean I'm sure everybody
He
who's
keeps
watching
the
Arcanists is
high.
aware.
Oa's not gonna let you sleep, all right? You better be awake during your
Yeah,
whole match.
yeah,
Every single second of your
Oa
match.
made playoffs in season 23. So yeah, he's definitely played in HTS tournaments. A little bit more known for LTS, but still he plays the same style regardless of the setting. Just adjusts his book for the time format a little bit. I should note though that even Oa said he was very disappointed with himself on how he played in the qualifiers because in the first three qualifiers he played in, he did not make it. He actually had to go all the way to the fourth qualifier to squeak in. So, well, he did get in. Playing all the four qualifiers did make a huge difference. And here he is in Group D, joining Nevin Increase. So,
Listen, that was then, this is now, and the bracket is gonna be the bracket. And I'm telling you, when it's time to show up, Oa's already there. In fact, he was there before he even got there. He was there before you even knew where you had to be. You can't ever sleep on Oa, okay? I have high, high hopes for my boy going into this tournament.
well then, now we've finished off the second and third seeds. This is gonna be the people to top the group. So this is where we really figure out what the group of death is.
We're gonna see the shape of the tournament here.
Yes,
All the first seeds.
this is where the groups get really come together, and you really see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Um, let's just get right into it. Honestly,
Run it up, Ink. Run it up, baby.
let's do. You know what? Yeah, let's do group. Do we want to do Group D or Group A first?
In my mind, I was like, okay, we're gonna go A, B, C, D, but you know what? Reverse, reverse.
Yeah, let's go Group D first. That group
Go
is
with the
already
D.
looking. It's already looking very very strong in terms of quality of players compared to how they seeded. So let's see who's gonna top it. Group D first, ladies and gentlemen. Who will it be? Oh, is it gonna
It's
stop there? It is gonna be Scoops. It almost landed on DX there. It almost did land on DX there. JG almost called it out. But yeah, Scoops getting to play with his buddy Oa in Group
Ink,
D.
bro. Ink, bro. Group D is Oa, Nev, Increase, and Scoops. Brother, what? This group is crazy.
I
They're
think
all gonna die.
I think it's gonna
Except one of them.
be, well, yeah, it's gonna be a very fun group. You're gonna see a lot of fun matches in
Hell yeah,
that.
it is.
That's definitely the thing to look out for. I look forward to broadcasting those matches for sure.
Dude,
but
it's gonna be nuts.
but
It's
yeah,
gonna be crazy.
many of us know Scoops. He really performs well in HTS. Generally speaking, he's performed pretty solid in HTS tournaments in the past. Got some decent results. No medal yet, but still pretty consistent. So let's see if he can keep that consistency going in a group with Oa and Nevin increase.
Yeah, I mean, no medal yet. It's only a matter of time. This guy is a monster. Right now, I think Scoops has shown up to this tournament so that he can take what's his. I think Scoop is coming to play. All right, and unfortunately, it's not going to be all that easy for him because he's got an insane group. It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire.
So before I spin Group C, I'm going to shorten Pimp's name. Sorry, Pimps. The summon part is getting removed. I need to make space for the wheel and also the other player I'm gonna put there. So yeah, we're gonna spin for Group C now.
Run it up. Here we go. DX Spork Pra. DX Spork Pras.
Looks like it's gonna stop on Spork.
Spork. La Sporke. The Spork. Right,
And
so
Spork also a past HGS tournament winner, won the season 23 tournament on 60 Wasteland. I believe he has not played in an H. I mean, we haven't had. Have we even had an HGS tournament since then? I don't think
It's
we
been a little
have.
while.
It's been a while, so I guess in a way he's technically reigning HGS champion. If you, depending on how you see the tournament that Machine play won in. But yeah, Sport gonna be joining this group again since he doesn't. He's normally an LTS player. He has Archmage and LTS and whatnot. Performed very well in HGS last time, and does like to deviate from the generic meta a decent amount sometimes. At least he did in the Wasteland tournament. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with this tournament. He's got a group of Blaziken, Pimps, and Machine. Some pretty strong mechanical players. And he is a very strong mechanical player as well. So
sure.
This is the group of high mechanics. High mechanics, yeah, for sure.
I hope we see something flashy. You know what I mean? I hope we see just the lob of destiny for the Big Bang KO.
I'll say Machine's a little bit different from those three in the sense that and actually Spork too. They're more about macro, like like very good macro. I would say they're more macro based players, and
for sure.
and I guess, well, I don't know if I can call it macro. I mean, it's a bit difficult to describe Machine's playstyle. Like we say, he plays like a machine. That's probably the best way to describe it. But Spork also plays like a machine.
Accurate play, very precise, decisions and movements.
Yeah,
you can see the optimizations, and that his turns are very well thought out and executed in a way that you go, oh, this nuance of his gameplay is for this reason, and it's performed accurately and elegantly, and I think that it's going to be very, very fun to see how he does against the likes of Pimp, Blaziken, and especially Spork. So powerful.
yeah, and Spork is also quite a machine in a way. We used to jokingly call him that for LTS. So we got, I guess, two machines in this group.
All right.
But anyways, the last spin. So to clarify, this spin will be for, since we've been going in reverse, the spin that this lands on will be Group B. Okay, so right. whoever we get out as Pros or DX will be Group B.
Or Strength Power DX will land in the group with JG Salem, Uzman, and Coeval. Let's find out.
Oh, Yep, definitely landing on one side there, and it's clear it's gonna be pros.
Arrows pointing directly at the man. Put him on the board, Inc. JG Salem, Uzman, Coeval, and Praz. That's another death group, bro. That's another death
Yeah,
group.
so
That's crazy group.
Pros is a player who he predates I think you a little bit in a way for sure
We've
because
chatted, but I haven't had too much time to see him play in
yeah,
events.
he is a player who I think is very underrated in high times. I would say personally. I think people underappreciate a little bit. In terms of tournaments, he doesn't do perform like extraordinarily. He has had a third place in an HCS tournament, but really when he was playing the most was during the league system, which was before season 20. That was when he
Mm.
was really playing the most, and he was consistently up there with a lot of the other top players. So glad to see him coming back. This is, I think, the first tournament for HTS at least that he's qualified for, and he won his group, not group, excuse me, won his qualifier. So definitely a force to be reckoned with. And in Group A, of course, is we all know who this is. It is Strength Power DX, the record tournament winner.
The most
Um,
decorated player in all of
the
Arcanists.
most decorated player in Arcanists, has gotten Archmage on all three ladders. Many would still call him the best player in the game. He's been playing a little bit less recently. We'll see if he has much of a slip up. Of course, he didn't play exactly, I think, up to his standards in the previous low times tournament. But we'll see if he keeps that, if he still maintains his standard in the high times tournament. And he's in a pretty good position to do so. I would say he won the first qualifier. He got a group with rising stars, so he can prove, yeah, I'm still the big dog here.
Yeah, I will say that DX, in comparison to the rest of his group, it's a clear dominance. You know, I think, i I mean, it's almost hard for you not to say that almost with any group that he's in. But the medals, the accolades, and the achievements that he's earned compared to the remainder of his group sets him clearly at the top. It's one could easily say fairly that it's his group to win or lose. But of course, he's still got to earn his stripes. You know,
Yeah,
he's not, as you mentioned, he's not as active as he was in his prime. I know right when I first started studying the game, coming onto the scene, he was for sure far and away the champion of the game. And if I'm saying, okay, well, who's the best? You know, the fingers are all pointing straight at that guy. Um, Nowadays, I think that most people would still agree, but they'll start to say, yeah, but this person's got some contention, or yeah, but like, he
yeah,
hasn't been around as much. So I think this is a great opportunity for DX to remind everybody who he is, make sure that people keep the respect on his name, and make sure that he's making that anybody else who wants to be up and coming, they really got to come for it, because going through DX, that's the opposite of an easy feat. That is a immovable mountain right there. So you got to really show that you're an unstoppable force if you want to grow past that. All the same,
um,
DX is a very, very thoughtful player. In addition to his precision, he is very capable of adjusting himself to a metagame. He's a very innovative player as well, not just somebody who has mastered what already exists in the game, but somebody who looks at all the elements of gameplay and says, I wonder if I can make this work out this way, and puts his full thought into it, studies it deeply and intensely, and creates something that is solid and rational and not easy to contest. And if you're not prepared for him, he's going to blow you over. So, very, very much looking forward to Group A, seeing how our rising stars in that group and our other returning powerhouses are going to hold up against the likes of DX. It's going to be a fun time to watch for sure. Always a pleasure to watch him play, and I was already looking forward to watching the rest of them play. So this is going to be a real treat.
yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up as I
Mhm.
do have to admittedly head out. This did take quite a while. Um, but at least we are still in time. to summarize the groups, Group A, DX, his, Serial or Beldums, and Test Player. Group B is Pros, JG Salem, Usman, and Coeval. Group C is Spork, Blaziken, Pimps, and Machine. And Group D is Scoops, Oa, Nev, and Increase.
That's going to be a banger. Do you have an idea of when the first match is going to be announced, or when we're going to try and or arrange for the first match?
Well, that's up to the players. I mean, the players are the ones who schedule things the most. I would like to get matches broadcast this weekend, ideally, because after this weekend, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to do so.
Perfect.
So if the people could schedule sooner rather than later, we can get the broadcasts going
Right
for those
away,
games.
as soon as possible. You guys ready to play? You send in your tickets, you let us know, and we're going to get your matches up and ready. So we're
Yep.
looking forward to seeing all of you there very soon. Guys, obviously, thank you so much to, I saw Pure drop by in the chat. Thanks for all you do for the game. Ink, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you for hosting the tournaments, hosting the group draw. And of course, I myself am Pierce, one of the commentators on the matches. So I will see you guys there. For all of you guys watching at home, thanks so much for watching. For all the players, good luck in your matches. This is Pierce and Ink signing out. We'll see you guys soon.
Yep, I will give one quick shout out to Pierce
Go
in
for it.
chat. Yes, if you'd like to follow Pierce, give him a follow. If you'd like to follow myself, Ink, you can follow me there. And yeah, thank you all for coming by, and we hope to the participants, best of luck in your matches. Have a good one, everyone.
See you guys soon.